Good evening. I call to order the Fairway Estates Special Service Recreation District meeting. Tonight is Wednesday, July 26, 2023. All members of the board are present. Council office is here as well. The mayor is joining us via Zoom, and multiple members of the mayor's staff are here. For those who are here in person or watching the video later wondering, wait, time out, I thought this was a city council meeting. The city council is in charge of not just the city council. There are a couple other boards that we oversee as well, and we act as the decision makers for those entities. Tonight, we have one business item for Fairway Estates, which is a small little neighborhood that has some special services from the city. And we're going to be hearing from Mr. Anderson about responses to a survey that was sent to that group. After that is concluded, then we'll close that meeting and we'll jump into the regular city council meeting. So should only take a couple of minutes. With that, Mr. Anderson, what can you tell us about the responses to the survey from the residents of Fairway Estates?
Thank you, council or board, Fairway Estates board members. Back in May, there were some financing questions about how to continue funding the Fairway Estates. The council gave direction, the board gave direction to meet with those residents. The date was set for June 7th. All of you were there, I believe. We met at Fairway Estates. You met about 75 or so residents that came to that meeting. There was questions asked. The direction of the council was to conduct a survey. We delivered the survey both via postcard and a Qualtrics. We were able to track the survey so that there were no duplicates. And I've compiled that list. There are 51 property owners that are in the Fairway Estates Special Recreation District. There are 22 responses that came in. What was in the packet is from 20 responses yesterday after we published. I received 2 more in the mail, and I've included those in the projections that'll be on your screen. So there were 4 questions based on that information from June 7th. First question, there were 3 options of how to fund the Fairway Estates Special Recreation District. Option A, option B, and option C. What we're talking about is fiscal year 2024, which I've highlighted in red. And the question that was asked is, which rate of increase would best accommodate the needs of your family? The second question is, would you like to have 3 to 5 of your neighbors be on a board that would meet several times per year to provide input on how the park areas are being managed? The responses were yes, no, or unsure. The third question is there an adult within your household that is interested in serving a 4-year term on this board? 4-year term is what's currently outlined in the city code for Fairway Estates. Fourth question was, is there anything else you would like to see within your parks, or do you have any feedback on how your parks are being taken care of? That is an open-ended question. I included in the packet the responses. I don't have those on this PowerPoint, but you have all the responses and we can go over some of those. So on the rate increase from the 22 respondents, again, this includes those that we received yesterday. I did not receive any in the mail today. Option B was about just a little over 45% that wanted to go with option B. Second was option C. Option C is the one that delays a property tax increase for several years. Option A was originally a 25% increase. When I talked to finance, they believe option A would now be closer to a 10 or 11% increase. The second question on the interest of creating a board, nearly 70% of those 22 respondents indicated they have an interest in interest in having a board represent their interest and how to best manage the open space in their community. And as far as a willingness to serve on the board, a little over 35% said no, and it's about even for yes or unsure. Of the 22 responses, there are 2 that did not provide a valid response, and I marked those as invalid. And so those are the discussions. If the board decides to move forward with an administrative control board, there will probably be some code amendments that would need to be done before that gets started. We talked about that the last time we had a FES. And that is the results of the survey that I have, and I can answer any questions you have.
Any questions from the board for Mr. Anderson? Board Member Pack.
Oh, thank you. More a comment than a question. It was nice to see the option B where it was mentioned as invalid. It's nice to receive resident input because I liked the brainstorming that was offered. I know it's not one of the valid options, but I love the outside the box thinking. And I think it just goes to show that when we involve a lot of people in opportunity to receive feedback, there are other options that we might not have even considered before. Thank you.
If I may just interject real quick, this is the figure. The option B is no increase this year, and then a bigger one, I think it's 45% in 25. So that's option B is the trajectory that the residents have asked for.
Board Member Whitelock.
Thank you. So aside from this postcard, what was sent to them? So they had all of these figures, and did they have information regarding that if we form the board, there will be a cost associated, which means all of these will go up?
We didn't include that question, but this chart that's on the screen, that was included with the postcard. So there was an information packet with a self-addressed stamped postcard.
Okay.
So, and they could either fill out the postcard or they could fill out the Qualtrics survey. We received the most from the postcards, but the information on both the handout, the postcard, and the Qualtrics were identical, and each was hand delivered to the residents in Fairway Estates.
Okay, but they may or may not be aware that forming a board comes with an increased cost.
No.
And am I correct that it will be an increased cost?
Because yes, the way the code is right now, yes, it will be an increased cost than what they have right now.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the board? All right.
I move to approve the consent items.
Second.
All right. Motion to include consent items, which contains the minutes from our June 28th meeting by Board Member Green, second by Board Member Bloom. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion passes. With that, I
move to adjourn the Fairway Estates meeting. And
motion by Board Member Green, second by Board Member Whitelock. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we are adjourned from the Fairway